Hello, my name is Allison Linney, and I'm the president of Allison Partners, an organizational development consulting firm founded on the belief that people are at the core of an organization's success and based in Charlottesville, Virginia. It was my pleasure to travel to Louisville, Kentucky last month for the National Association of Realtors Association Executives Institute. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting with the group and talking about the power of ideas, creativity tools to inspire and transform organizations. We focused on the fact first, to begin with, that a lot of people really think that creativity is only available to a very small percentage of the population, people who are artists and go away into their small rooms and create something beautiful and wonderful, and that the rest of us perhaps can't be creative. People will tell me all the time, well, I'm just not that creative. And in fact, here at Allison Partners, we believe that creativity is available to everyone. So we spent some time talking about where those myths come from and how we can overturn some of those myths. And one of our favorite resources on our team is an organization called Foresight. You can learn more about Foresight at FOURSIGHT online.com. And they have a great assessment that helps people to look at what they bring to the creativity process. Perhaps you're someone who's good at clarifying, ideating, developing, or implementing. But in fact, all four of those steps are needed for any kind of creativity process that leads to greater innovation in organizations. So I think you'll find there that there are many ways to learn about creativity, and there are ways that you, no matter who you are and what your unique gifts are, bring to the creativity process. We then focused primarily on ideate, really looking at how we can create and generate as many possible ideas, because if we have more ideas, then we have more choices, and that leads to greater buy-in within organizations. And so it's important to not worry about evaluating ideas to begin with, but rather generating as many ideas as possible. And so we taught and discussed three different tools. One is to think about your worst ideas. When you have a problem or a challenge that you're struggling with, what would it be like to imagine all the terrible ways that you could solve that problem? So for example, one of my colleagues worked with an organization that wanted to eradicate childhood obesity. And so they came up with an idea that one of the worst things they could do was to give all kids in the lunchroom only access to things that are orange. You know, all those things that have the orange dyes and that kids like so much because the colors are bright and it's yummy to eat. Well, we're not going to do that, but that worst idea, they flipped it, they thought about it, and they thought, you know what, kids love bright colors. So let's come up with food groups that really connect with the rainbow, and we can use that as a way to help kids make sure they eat one of the colors in the rainbow every day. And so that's what you do. Come up with all your worst ideas, and then look at those worst ideas and see if you can flip them into something good. The second is a much quieter process, and that's where we take a grid. So I want you to imagine that you take a problem, you write it across the top of the page, and then create a grid that's 3 boxes across the top and perhaps 5 boxes down the bottom. And you write 3 ideas in that first row across the top, 3 ways that you might solve your problem. And then you pass your paper to the person next to you, and quietly, with no talking in the room, which is a little bit of a unique way of looking at creativity, the next person looks at your problem and they write 3 ideas on the next row. And then you fill up the entire sheet, so there's probably going to be about 5 people who have a chance to contribute 3 ideas to your problem. And I think you'll be fascinated by how much easier it is to solve one another's problems than it is to solve your own. Everybody collects the sheets at the end, and I guarantee you will have more new, different ideas than you ever thought of before, and it'll give you a lot to think about for whatever problem you're struggling with. And then the third opportunity is to really change our perspective, to say, here's my problem, here's my challenge. Now, how would a 5-year-old fix that? Or what would Oprah do? Or perhaps how would Bill Gates address that? Or maybe a car salesman, or in fact, maybe a realtor. How would they solve a problem so that we can get into that person's skin, and it frees us up to think about all the different ways we could address a problem and come up with lots of good ideas. I think we even used Big Bird when I was at the conference last month. So those are 3 tools that can help you to ideate, and I hope you'll remember that everyone has something to contribute to the creativity process. If you'd ever like to talk more about this, you can reach me via our website. It's Allison Partners, that's ALLISON, Partners, PARTNERS.com. Thanks again, and have a great day.